Hey everyone, it is Finn here, and in today's video, I'll be giving you my best possible starting lineup for Netherlands for Euro 2021. Because guys, it is literally right here. Euro 2021 starts this week. Now, I've done this video concept with the likes of both Belgium and Scotland. You guys seem to have loved those videos. And I was asked in one of those videos if I could do this video concept with Netherlands. So that is why in today's video, I'll be putting forward what I believe is Netherlands' strongest starting 11 for Euro 2021. Now, of course, in terms of what squad I believe is Netherlands' strongest, we have to look at the formation they should use. Now, I personally believe Netherlands going into the competition should use a 4-3-3 system. Now, I have used this formation because I believe it is the most all-around balanced formation in terms of defense, midfield, and attack. And I believe Netherlands really do need a good amount of balance in their squad, because looking at their group, they've got the likes of Austria, North Macedonia, and Ukraine. Now, yes, although Netherlands should be the top of that group, I mean, all three teams in Netherlands group have potential to be deadly on both attack and defense, and have potential to cause some disturbance, to be honest, and to cause quite a few upsets. And looking at Netherlands, they have potential to bottle. I think we all know that by this stage, because leading up to this competition, they lost to Turkey and drew to Scotland. So you know what, versus those three teams, Netherlands has to have quite a bit of balance in their team. That is why I've gone for a 4-3-3 formation. Now, in terms of the goalkeeper, I believe they should use, it's only fitting that I have a Spider-Man sweatshirt, because their goalkeeper has superhuman reflexes, as it is going to be Tim Krul. Now, looking at Netherlands' 26-man squad for the Euros, there are some big names missing out. Obviously, they don't have the likes of Cillessen, Virgil van Dijk, or recently added Donny Van Der Beek, but they should still have a good enough squad to compete. Now, as I said, no Cillessen between the posts, but even if he was in the squad, I 100% think that Tim Krul should be the main man between the posts for Netherlands. I mean, he is a fantastic goalkeeper, the second most clean sheets in the championship this season with 18. He's 33 years old, which I feel like he's been around for so much longer than that, because he's built himself up quite a legacy, a seriously big legacy. Obviously, one of the best penalty stopping goalkeepers in the world. I'll never forget 2 years ago, versus Manchester United, he stopped about 2 or 3 penalties. Genuinely one of the best penalty stoppers in the game, and one of the most underrated goalkeepers in the entire world. And there's no doubt in my mind that he should start for this Netherlands national team. Now, going into the defense, now there's a wide variation that Netherlands could go with for this defense, because they've got that amount of quality and that amount of squad depth. They could go for 3 defenders, 4 defenders, 5 defenders. But you know what, as I said, for balance sake, I have gone for 4 defenders in this team. In terms of the right back, I've gone for the likes of Denzel Dumfries, who, as of late, has seemed to be the regular right back starter for Netherlands. I think in terms of his goal and assist contribution, he is fantastic. He's been brilliant for PSV with all his years there. And to be honest, at 25 years old, I can definitely see him make a move to a top 5 league team after the Euros. In terms of his attacking ability, he's great for a right back. And defensively, he's not too bad either. He really is the total package. Now, going on to the 2 centre back options, as I said, no Virgil van Dijk. That is a huge loss. They will not have their captain for Euro 2021. But you know what? I still think Netherlands have a solid centre-back option partnership, to be honest. As I said, they could go with 3 centre-backs, but I have chosen 2. Centre-back number 1 has to be the likes of Matthias De Lucht. He, out of all centre-backs, is the one that I know as a fact will start. I mean, he's only 21 years old, but it feels like we've been watching him for like 5 years now. Let's not forget, he captained Ajax to a Champions League semi-final at 18 years old. He is an excellent centre-back. Hasn't had the best season with Juventus, obviously, but in terms of being a true leader, I believe he should be in the squad, one of the best young centre-backs in the entire world. Now, in terms of a centre-back partner, this is where it gets tricky. Lots of people have divided opinions, obviously. I know people want Aka from Manchester City. I know people want De Vries from Inter Milan. Obviously, just won the Serie A title, and it's very tricky, but I'm going to go for the likes of Daley Blind. To be honest, I want you guys to hear me out, whether they go for De Vries or Daley Blind. I feel like it'll have the same effect on the team, and I think they'll do equally as well. But I've gone for Daley Blind because in terms of being a ball-playing centre-back, there's no better centre-back in the world, in my opinion, than that. I feel like his experience next to the likes of De Lucht, that can only cause dangerous things in defence. Obviously, the likes of De Lucht, he's very versatile. He can play left-back, centre-back, central defensive midfield, and in terms of his pace, ball passing ability, and just absolutely everything about him. I think he deserves to be in the squad. An excellent centre-back partnership option for De Lucht. Now, in terms of my final defender, much like the likes of Dumfries, a very similar player, I've got the likes of Windle. Owen Windle from AZ Alkmaar. I think he's been an excellent left-back option. Although relatively new to this Netherlands national team in terms of competitive games, he seems to be almost a regular in the squad at this point. Once again, I've got him in the squad for the exact same reasons that I have the likes of Dumfries in there. He's a very young player, only 21 years old, but in terms of being able to distribute into the box and defend, I feel like looking at this Netherlands defense for Euro 2021, I feel like that is a very solid defense. Now moving on to the midfield. As I said, I've gone for a 3 midfield option, starting off with the likes of Wijnaldum, who once again has just left Liverpool and it's undecided whether he'll go to Barcelona, PSG, but I feel like he has to fit in the squad. I personally don't find him the best midfielder in the world for the likes of Liverpool. I feel like he could contribute more, and even then as a defensive player, he's not the best. I think Wijnaldum is a good player, but I wouldn't consider him one of the best in the world, but that's just me personally. But for the Netherlands national team, I mean, he is brilliant. In terms of the World Cup qualifiers, he was brilliant. 8 goals in 7 games or something like that. Wijnaldum for this Netherlands national team is really, really good and will probably be captain for them, to be honest with you. Once again, there is a lot of leadership in this Netherlands national team. Now, the midfield output next to him is going to be the likes of Frankie De Young, who obviously made a move 2-3 years ago from Ajax to Barcelona, who I would consider has been Barcelona's best midfielder this season. Once again, has picked up quite a few defensive abilities since moving to Barcelona. He doesn't move up front as often, but when he does for Barcelona, you really do recognize him. In terms of being a box-to-box midfielder, he is excellent, and I feel like putting him next to Wijnaldum in this Netherlands midfield, I think that could be a seriously good possession winning midfield. Now, of course, my final midfielder, it would have been the likes of Donny Van Der Beek. Oh, my Manchester United heart breaks that he won't be playing at the Euros. I mean, genuinely, statistically, Virgil van Dijk has had more starts in the Premier League this season than Donny Van Der Beek. How is that allowed? How is one of the highest prospected young attacking midfielders in the world done that? I think Manchester United, it breaks my heart as a fan of the club, but we have truly mistreated Donny Van Der Beek. He needs to go on loan somewhere if we're not going to play him, or we need to sell him and get the money. But you know what? Unfortunately, Donny Van Der Beek, as of the last 24 hours, has picked up an injury and will not be going to the Euros. But you know what? I feel like I've come up with a pretty good replacement for him in the squad, as I've gone for the likes of Davey Clarkson, who at 28 years old, I mean, let's not lie, he looks like a 42-year-old office worker, but 28-year-old Davey Clarkson, I think, is an excellent midfielder. I would say, going into this competition, looking at the Euro qualifiers, he has been one of the best midfield options for Netherlands. I feel like he is a super sub. Every single time he comes off the bench, he seems to score, and looking at that, I think he genuinely deserves to start for Netherlands in terms of the Eredivisie this season. He's one of the most assists in the league this season. I mean, genuinely, I feel like him getting the ball up front to my 3 attackers in this Netherlands team, I think he would be brilliant for the system. I feel like Klaassen is going to be one of the best players in the Euros this year. It's a big call, but it's genuinely how I feel. Now, going into my 3 attackers for Netherlands, of course, starting in the left wing position, it has to be Memphis Depay. Now, whether he started as a striker or a left wing, he's fitting in the squad one way or another. The most assists in League 1 this season with 12. The second most goals after only Kylian Mbappe with 20. I think Memphis Depay is going to be a hero in the Euros. I spoke about Davey Clarkson maybe being one to watch in this competition, but Memphis Depay has potential to win it all for Netherlands. He carries them from time to time, and that is a great thing, but of course the squad needs to work together if they want to do well in this competition. Memphis Depay, one of the best players on the ball, and there's been links for him to move to Barcelona forever now, or back to Manchester United or another top club. Memphis Depay is world class, and I feel like at Euro 2021 is where we're truly going to see it. Now, it's very tricky not to play him in the striker position and to play him in the left wing position instead, but I had to keep the striker position open for the likes of Wout Weghorst. I think that's how you pronounce it, Wout Weghorst. Sorry, I'm not 100% sure, but the Wolfsburg striker, 20 goals in the Bundesliga this season. I mean, that's an excellent season for a striker, and the only reason no one really hears about it is because he is overshadowed in a league with the likes of Andre Silva, Erling Haaland, Lewandowski, some great strikers. strikers, but Weghorst has had a fantastic season with Wolfsburg, and we even saw Weghorst versus the likes of Georgia. He is a fantastic striker, and I believe if you make him your striker and Depay your left wing, I believe that's the perfect attacking combination up front. Now, in terms of my right winger and the final player in my starting 11, I've gone the likes of Berghuis, who 19 goals and 13 assists this season. That is absolutely insane for Feyenoord in the Eredivisie. He is an excellent winger, 29 years old. I'm surprised he's not playing in another league. Weghorst, I think once again, I mean, it sounds incredible to say, but once again, another player that could be the deciding factor for Netherlands. And I think, guys, that is just proof of how good this Netherlands national team is. There are genuinely like 4 or 5 players that could win it this season. Now, of course, there are big names I've left out of the starting lineup. Obviously, the likes of Marlon, who could play as either a winger or a striker. But I'm pretty happy with my starting 11. As I said, I've gone with what I feel like is the most balanced starting 11 for Netherlands in terms of defense, midfield, and attack. I feel like looking at the squad in general has a good chance to progress to the next stage of Euro 2021. As I said, Netherlands have potential to bottle it, but they should top, if not come second in their group. I really think that this Netherlands team is strong enough to at least make it almost to the semi-finals, to be honest with you. As I said, big names missing out of this competition due to injury, but it is still a very strong Netherlands team. But guys, that is my starting 11 for Netherlands for Euro 2021. Let me know what you think about it down in the comment section down below. And of course, if you want to see more Euro content in the future, make sure that you are subscribed to catch more of my content. And of course, please hit the like button down below. Can we please get this video to 20 likes? I would really appreciate it. But guys, this has been fun. FYNN.